Christianity's taking over for sure. I'm seeing it everywhere. It seems like everybody's coming to Jesus. Even OnlyFans girls are coming to Jesus. And people are saying like, oh, it's all fake, or you like trying to bring shame to them. Nah, heck no. Even an OnlyFans girl, anybody can come. Jesus saves everybody. It don't matter what you've done. If you truly with your heart chase him, it don't matter.
There's nothing wrong with saying it without believing it, or like lying about it.
Saying what?
Like saying like, oh, you're a Christian. You're like, let's say I was on OnlyFans or whatever, and people were giving me shit about me being like this or that, whatever. And I would say like, and I told everybody like, oh, I'm gonna come to Jesus, or I'm turning a new leaf and I'm gonna be more religious, and I'm just a nice Christian girl or whatever. But
And
not
you're
really.
lying?
Yeah, not really. I'm just saying that because I don't want people to give me shit no more or something.
But continue doing it?
Yeah, you still do everything the same, but you're lying that you're a Christian and that you believe and you do this and you do whatever. Is there no wrong in that? It seems like there's just lying, or it seems wrong.
Well, it's regardless. Like if it's regardless the same thing, because if you don't believe in Jesus, it says you're not gonna make it to heaven. So it don't matter if you're lying or if you're not lying. You could be saying you are a Christian and not living it. You're still going to hell if you're not living it. And that's what people don't understand. That people think that, oh, it's works based. It's not works based. Like people say you can earn your spot in heaven. You can't. That's why Jesus came down for you, because he's like, you can't do it. So now we just have our faith in him.
So you can't earn it.
You can't earn it.
You can't buy it.
No.
You can't trade for it.
No. And that's why it's the difference, because it's like, if somebody asks you the question, are you going to heaven? If somebody asked me, are you going to heaven? I would say yes. And they would say, why, right? The answer is, I'm going to heaven because Jesus Christ took the punishment that I deserved for me. So whenever it comes to judgment day, I'm going to put my faith in him. It don't matter how dirty I am, because I put my faith in him. Now, when you look at it though, that doesn't mean, this is where people get it confused. That doesn't mean I can go about doing whatever I want to do now because of whatever, because then you're false. Because if you truly love Jesus, you're going to try to do your best. If you're going to fall, it says it in the Bible. Every man is falling short. And Jesus said, I think a good man will fall 7 times, but will get up again. So it don't matter. When you sin, Jesus covered it. Look at him again. Like that. But if you're out here making schedules and plans or whatever, or you're out here clubbing and everything, you come to Jesus, and the next day you're clubbing and doing all the same thing, there's no repentance. There's no change of mind.
There's no salvation for the ones that drop it low.
There's salvation for everybody if you accept Jesus.
But
it's really not that complicated.
But if they keep dropping it low,
you know what I realized? It's really not that complicated. Like God made it easy. Really not that complicated. Yet people complicate it. A video you need to watch is, I forgot the title of it, but it's by Wes Huff. I've been looking into him lately.
There's an interview?
What's the word for the people who study history, like ancient texts? Is there a certain word for that?
Historian? Or
I don't know if historian is just plainly history, but he studies text, right? So he had a 30-minute presentation that you definitely should watch, and breaks it down like completely on why and how, shows you evidence and everything on how the Bible we have today is the same Bible that the disciples wrote. It's exactly the same. He says,
I thought it's been edited a few times, like different versions or whatever.
That's exactly what he goes over, because he goes over like everybody says. He names people, Joe Rogan, people saying that, oh, it's been translated and edited and translated and edited. And he's like, no, it's not, because if it's translated from the original language, then it goes to Latin, and it goes to another language, it goes to another language. Okay, right? You could say, oh, this can get lost in the way, right? But he said, what we're comparing it to, we have access to the original language. We found the manuscripts of the original language, dated from close to like Jesus. So we're ignoring all these. We're looking at the actual thing. And he said, and when you look at this and then you compare them to the translations, he's like, you would be able to tell if everything was messed up. And he said, and the Bible is multiple authors and multiple books, the New Testament and the Old Testament. The New Testament, people were making copies and giving them to people of just the New Testament. They didn't have all the books. Some people had the Old Testament. He said, so as time went on, so many people had copies that if somebody tried to change it in another part of the country, we would know, because the majority of them say the same thing. Not only that, but we have, like I said, access to the original. And he pulls it up and he said it's literally like word for word. And then he breaks it down to like, he said one thing that we can know for sure, for a fact, is fact. He said proven, is that the Bible we have today is accurate. It's exactly what the disciples wrote. He said, now if you want to say that it's false, he said that's a whole different story. But he said, let's investigate it based on the claims of, I think he said it was Luke. Luke, I think, was not a witness of Jesus. So he went into it as a historian himself, and he named the rulers and everybody else at that time of Jesus. So he did it. He explains it that Luke was hella smart. And when I read that, when I seen that, I'm like, damn, he was so far his time. He wanted to make sure to get everything accurate historically. So that way the people in the future can see it and be like, oh yeah, trace it down and be like, oh yeah, this is true. To Pontius Pilate, the Roman leader that ordered Jesus to be killed, to him, to other people who were in charge and everything, and he names them. And I'm like, it's hella crazy how in detail he goes, and he shows you like why he calls himself a Christian and everything after all his research. And it's crazy. You have to watch. It's 30 minutes, and it would eliminate your faith on, well, not your faith, your doubt on whether the Bible we're reading today is accurate. And it is. Now, if you want to look at it, if the story's real or not, that's a whole separate story.
You know, how when you translate something from English to Spanish, there's some words that you just gotta substitute because there's not one that fits.
Yeah.
So whenever I think of any type of translation has done, there's always a few words here and there that are gonna be substituted or reconstructed or said that it's gonna have the similar meaning, but it's not 100% accurate. That's what I thought what happened every time people translated it over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, to the point where it's like the telephone game, like he was explaining, that you get like, say 50 people, and then I whisper, hey, cars are blue and the sky is orange. And then by the time it gets to the end, it's backwards or whatever the case may be. But he's like, but the real thing is that we have access to the first person. And nobody thinks of that.
If you can translate it again, straight from the one to the original to
so you
English.
can look at the original. Yeah, you can. Now he explains how he said, why do we keep getting new updated versions, right? And he explains it. He's like, because we don't speak in Old English. He's like, let me show you what it sounded like in Old English. And he says it in Old English. You wouldn't understand it. You know how they spoke back then? He's like, so they're just updating it so more people understand it. But the fact that it can be so accurate was crazy to me. How we have preserved this for so long, this long, is what's crazy to me, that it makes me, but like it's from God. You can't mess with from God. That's not.
I mean, it makes sense that it wouldn't be altered if, like, let's say Christian, like Jesus, let's just make it a fact that Jesus and Christianity is the correct religion. You would think that there would be no way that the Bible would ever be altered, no matter what, no matter how hard human tried, to ensure that every Bible and everywhere changed.
Well, there's people who try to add stuff and take stuff out,
but it never works.
That's happened, but it never works because people have so much to compare it to. So they would say, "Oh, obviously," he said, "it's like a puzzle." He said, you would look at it and be like, "This doesn't fit. This doesn't fit." So it doesn't. That's why it's not included. And then there's false gospels of Judas and claiming that but he goes back and tells you why this is false. It's not just saying, "Hey, it's false." He's saying this is why it's false, and he explains it to you. Like Judas, it said that in the Gospel of Judas, It's basically Judas writing his side of the version of the whole story, saying that, oh, it was actually planned. Like Jesus told me to do that because this had to be fulfilled. Jesus told me to like sell him out and to do this and stuff like that. But he explains why that don't make no sense. So and then there's other things that people are saying that Jesus had a wife, and then there's like is the interview he just did with Billy Carson. Billy Carson's getting a lot of heat right now because he was saying that in the Sinai Bible, Jesus didn't get crucified. And Wes Huff pulled it off the shelf like a G and said, I have a photocopy like in here. And he said, I'm confused because I have it and I've studied it and it reads the same. So he's like, wait, like, can you clarify on that? And he's like, oh, I made a mistake. It's in the gospel. What I seen it on is the gospel of Barnabas. And everybody has known, nobody believes in that. The gospel of Barnabas. It's like a forgery or whatever they call it. He's like, nobody. So it's like, and that's one of the things that he's been spreading throughout podcast to podcast to podcast. That's why people are giving him like a lot of heat right now, because they're like happy that he's crumbling down because he's been spreading false lies and stuff.
I think whenever you make a mistake, it's always, especially as a man, you're supposed to like take it on the chin and like say, admit to like, hey, I was wrong, and then depending on what it was, because it seems like when you're out there, when it comes to religion, there's something that you shouldn't speak unless you're like well versed in it, because it's like a lot of people who look up to you in any shape, way, or form, they're gonna take that. They're not gonna say, "Let me double check." They're gonna be like, "Yeah, he said it," and he's on YouTube.
Especially when you have that much power, though. Like when you have that much of a fan base, you have that much reach, and you're spreading something. But I think that's a hard job. But then, like when you're going everywhere and everywhere, you're very popular. I mean, you should know your stuff.
That's why unless you gotta be.
But like, even if you didn't, right? Like in his case, and he get caught, you would have to accept it. Like he did in the beginning. He said, "Oh, that's my fault." But later on, he was saying that, making excuses, saying that, "Oh, he wasn't in the right state of mind. This was all a setup. It's been edited with AI, and that he almost died 3 days ago. So he was foggy. He had to actually take the stairs on his house because he couldn't. His elevator was down, and he was talking. He was trying to, like, it seemed like he was really trying to flex like his wealth to all the viewers. And a lot of people were like, "Yo, I'm not a fan of you no more. You lost a fan," because like a lot of people have based their lives on that, like as far as like what they believe in. And now when they're seeing it get debunked, it's like, and then the way he's taking it, he's like, I'm suing them. He's trying to sue Wes Huff now, the historian I'm telling you about, who studies ancient texts. He's like, he's trying to sue me now. And he's like, why? And he told them, he said that before that interview went up, he did tell them, hey, I don't want it to go up. And he's like, we told them that it's not going to be a good move, because if you suppress this, he said, no matter what, I'm gonna talk that it happened. I'm gonna say that it happened. You're not gonna like me hide it too, like whatever. He said, I'm just gonna say that it happened. I'm not gonna say go crazy on it, but I'm just gonna say that it happened. And so you can't stop that. But he's like, and when people find out that it's being suppressed, they're gonna why whatever, and it's gonna be even worse. So it's not a good idea, but he didn't care. He wanted to.
I mean, it's still a good move though to put it out, because it clarifies things that it makes people like who thought shit was factual based on him or whatever. Now everything can get rechecked. Cause now whenever someone has some type of doubt, like that, like news comes out that their shit's not 100% accurate, it's everybody's gonna double check their shit, and it's probably it's probably bad for him. It's probably really bad for him. But it's like,
it's because like when you meet somebody who knows what they're talking about, that's when it gets.
That's
real.
why you don't meet. It's like he shouldn't have met.
That's like me going. Yeah, it's me going around and telling everybody about cars, right? To people who don't know about cars. And then one day I sit with you, you're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" Huh?
I got the book right here.
Yeah, I
got the car right here.
So we're like, that's what it is. And I mean, I think like if he should have just accepted, hey, I messed up, that's whatever, and it would have been fine. Like move forward.
Yeah.
Um,
Because when you
he
make it a big
himself,
deal,
yeah, he made
when
himself look a lot
when
bad.
you make it a big deal, it becomes worse. Like everybody, the attack, the hate that people have towards you makes it worse because now any person who was a fan or was a fan of his is no longer, and then people love to hate on others. It's just
He loves
human.
to see people's downfalls.
Yeah. So like it just makes them even like cheer harder.
Yeah, the only thing is that, like, I mean, it has to be exposed. This does have to. It like this isn't like something personal. This is something that can lead people to damnation, as they say. So, because you're preaching a false gospel, you're saying Jesus didn't get crucified. That's what saves all of us. It's Jesus. Now I know a lot of people might not believe in that, but as far as like even just that's why I'm so interested in learning more about like the Bible through Wes Huff, because he's one of those teachers that can explain it to you and my dumbass can understand. Like he's like, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he could explain it to you. He could dumb it down to you. Like, hey, this is what this means. I know it sounds all complicated when I say it, but this is what it actually means and stuff like that. So that's why I like watching his videos, because he knows what he's talking about. But it's that's why I said you had to watch it, because that 30-minute clip of him saying that, explaining why the Bible is accurate today. And the fact that 2,000 years later, we have an accurate version of that book that's been in the hands of.
Doesn't seem like that long.
It's not.
2000 seems like nothing. 2000? That ain't shit.
And you know what he said too? He said, you would think that the further we get away from the text, the less and less we would know about it. He's like, but it's the opposite. It's the more we know about it. Because now we have access to everything. Like you can see that. You can see those manuscripts or whatever that they have. They have copies of them. I don't even know if you can see them physically. I don't know. But he says you can see it. It's not something you could prove this.
If the world ever goes to shit, like fucking nuclear, and like we lose the internet, we lose power all everywhere in the world, and it's like we can't have no power. There's no power. There's no internet for 50 years. Like let's say 50-year term. If the internet goes down, we lose a shit ton of info. Shit ton of info. So we would have to go back to it would have to be back to books. Like the Bible wise, you would have to be back to books. And I don't know how bad, I don't know how bad it would be. I don't know how bad it'd be, like as far as information, like how dumb people would be back then, like 50 years from now. Because you would lose everything. All the how-tos for everything are down. It's only like, hey, you better hope you can figure shit out by yourself. That's gonna be a sucky ass world. No internet, no electricity. We use electricity for everything.
Then everybody would read books, huh?
It'd be the only entertainment. It's only entertainment.
It would be your brain, imagination.
Yeah.
How SpongeBob says. But speaking about Christians, there's a guy in Mexico who goes around. He has like a home where he gets people off the streets and who are drug addicts, and he houses them and gives them food, gives them medication, and keeps them for a certain time period so they can get clean. And all that's great, right? We've heard it before. There's other people who do that, but it's the method that he does it, and it could be seen like kind of crazy, but it's like he'll go and he'll ask you, like, you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, then he won't force you. But if he has, like, if your mom comes up and says, this is my son, I'm having issues, he'll come at you like a G. Then he and this is a video I'm going to show you, because he'll be like, you got two options on this. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like cartel shit. Like the kidnapping method. But even though it's not, this guy's a good person. But he'll just be like, there's two ways we can do this. He's like, the easy way, you come willingly. Right? You come willingly.
Did he tell him who?
Yeah, he explains to them, hey, your mom's had enough already. You don't let her sleep. This is and this. Enough is enough. And you got two options. And he said, he'll tell him about like he owns a place where they get clean, whatever. He said, you have two options. You can get off the car willingly, or my boys will come in and get you. And in one video, he's like, well, bring your boys in. I think calling his bluff. Quick, hey. And these fools go in there and get him out.
Get him out of the car?
Yeah, they
But
get
how
him.
the fuck did he get in the car?
Oh, because his mom brought him, lying to him that she was going to take him somewhere. I don't know where he was. So when he was there, she went, pulled up, because the guy don't know where he's at. And then he told him, hey, my son's in the van. This is the whole story, like that. And then you see these, right? But then you see, recently I seen the aftermath. 6 months go by. And this person who was taken by force is now praying and clapping with everybody, seems happy, smiling. And then he's released and he's with his family now. And he's talking like perfect now. He's not slurring his words, whatever. He's hugging his family, he's telling them thank you and everything. It seems like transformation is crazy. So I'm like,
person?
yeah. So I'm like, this is...
But what's the method though? Like, is he by himself? Is he
No,
like,
he has a whole
he chained
team.
these fuckers down or what?
No, I think he has them in a room. And the room, from what I've seen, has bars on it. And they have access to like almost like an outside space. And they have gatherings so where like everybody gets, they're not just in the cell. They could shower and stay in there, whatever. I think they just stay there for nighttime. So make sure they don't leave. And yeah, they have a big gate. And I'm pretty sure they have people monitoring it and everything.
So it's jail. It's basically like
it's kind of because you
jail.
can't leave because there's a guy, but it's not really because you're not being treated in a bad way. And they get together and they bring you food and everything like that.
So what about like withdrawals and stuff?
They have they give you medication. Like they must, I don't know exactly like how he does it, but I know he has a team because I seen it. And he always talks about like you need to get you some vitamin D, get this into your body, clean your system out. And he's like, we need to get you on that. And he does it. He does it. So I'm like, I don't know if you can do this in America. You know, if somebody's mom said, hey, take my son who's 23, 26, 29, who's an addict and refuses to get help and is stressing me out, take him. And for me to go take him by force, I can't do that. Would be kidnapping. But in Mexico, even the police show up and he's cool with the police. So I think it's all understanding that...
For free?
I don't know how he does it. But it's all in the understanding of like it's for the greater good. And it is, you know, it is because he's helping a lot of people in the streets. But I wanted to show you the video so you can see like how they taking them. And if you didn't know, if I didn't give you this long ass explanation, you would think probably this guy's getting kidnapped. This is the first one I seen, and then there's another one. This is the original video I seen. And I'm like, what is going on? I didn't know what was happening.
Carnal, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Mi nombre es Jesús Ignacio, carnal. A mí me dicen Chiquilín,
Sí.
de la patrulla espiritual. Soy encargado de una clínica de rehabilitación cristiana, carnal. Una capacidad increíble para
look how he
suplir la que tú
talks.
tienes, corazón. Pero ¿sabes qué es más grande? El amor de Cristo por nosotros, coqueto. Esa capacidad que tú tienes para sufrir. Esa miseria espiritual, carnal.
You're touching him, some
De
random
las
motherfucker.
tinieblas, corazón. ¿Sabes quién mandó por ti, corazón? Dios.
Dios mandó por ti. That's what he
Dios
always
manda por
says.
ti, corazón.
Pero yo no necesito un centro, estoy trabajando y estoy en regla, ¿sí me entiendes? ¿Sí me entiendes? Yo estoy trabajando, hermano, ¿sí me entiendes? Si me miras todo sucio es porque ando reciclando, ¿sí me
Ánimo,
entiendes?
carnal.
Pero estoy trabajando.
Anda reciclando, carnal.
Sí.
Esa miseria espiritual, carnal. La negación, el primer síntoma de la adicción, carnal. Yo entiendo que vas a ñañarear.
Like this could be a scary situation for him, huh?
Yeah, because you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
like,
six
just-
dudes
just-
claiming that he's like
yeah.
that, and this is Mexico.
yeah.
You know where it's heavy hard
He
cartel.
just comes for a guy randomly come up and then he's with a crew of niggas.
Yeah, he got a crew.
He got a crew of motherfuckers with him and he's just telling him, hey, I'm with the Christian, he said the Christian police, and I'm here to bring you closer to God. Like, and
He said he told them about the rehabilitation
yeah,
center that he has.
yeah, but like he doesn't know this guy, And
I know.
then
That's
they
why I
start
could see it.
touching him. They start touching him
Yeah, you
from
could
the
tell
back.
he's off east. You
Yeah.
could tell he's like, oh, what's happening? And worse, it happened at an Oxxo. And Oxxos are like, I don't know. You see them, it's normal. It's a normal gas station. But you hear so much horrible stories that happen at those gas stations. But it's just a gas station like a 7-Eleven. But that's why you could tell he's already not feeling it.
Normal, corazón.
No voy a ir a ninguna
Look at that.
parte.
They just keep
Permiso,
touching
hermano.
him.
Es normal, corazón.
Hey, hermano, ¿por qué me
Estoy
quieres?
platicando contigo, corazón.
Estamos platicando, no te vamos a llevar. Ey, no te vamos a llevar.
Vámonos, carnal. Mira, te voy a decir un versículo bien hermoso, sin tanta chimichanga, como digo yo, y es el Lucas 14,
Ey, carnal,
23.
tengo mucha sed, carnal.
Con ese versículo vas a empezar a flotar y vas a empezar a desafiar la gravedad. Porque va a parir la coche y sin tanta chimichanga estás becado, corazón. Vamos a ver, manito.
No, hermano, no, ey.
And I was like, look it. In the middle of the store, grab him. And everybody just laughing and smiling. This guy's getting taken. But it's because they know him. He's known
Dios
to.
pagó tu proceso. Vámonos, vámonos.
Ey, carnal, me estás pescando.
Ay, súbase uno, vámonos.
See, he's like, they're kidnapping me. I mean, that is what it is.
Oh yeah, it doesn't seem really Christian to do this though.
To just abduct
Yeah,
them.
because Jesus never seemed like a person who forced faith on someone.
No venía por ti, pero Dios mandó por ti.
To this extent, no.
La gente de aquí te puso. Negativo, corazón, Dios mandó.
Yeah, that's what
por
I'm saying.
ti.
So when you look at this, you can be like, you will maybe be like, you might not like it. But when you see
Yeah,
a story like this,
Yeah.
and then you see where he's at today, and he's back with his family now, he even thanking you now.
Yeah.
It's you put all the pieces together, and you're like,
It's,
I mean, it kinda was worth it, but-
yeah, but it still
it still don't
seems-
justify you grabbing them by force and taking them. But I mean,
But sometimes it's the only way people
Yeah.
are gonna get clean.
and that's what he says. Sometimes you have to do some things a certain way because it's not gonna get done. And you'll see this with the next video. I'm
Because
gonna
I
show you
would,
too.
if you just showed me this video, I would say they just kidnapped his ass.
That's cartel, huh?
Yeah, they took him. They took him for some reason. They took
Yeah.
him, and right now he's getting pounded by somebody. Probably
Oh,
that dude
yeah.
right there. That dude with the hat, like this, because look how he has him.
Yeah,
He's-
and I'm pretty sure, like, being in that situation, he's probably terrified.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm done.
Who's taking me?
Somebody's clapping the cheeks for sure.
Yeah.
And there's 5 guys there.
El andar con esa miseria espiritual, carnal, te ganaste una beca. Vamos ahí, sin tanta chimichanga, parió.
He said,
Parió la coche, corazón.
"See, that sounds like they about to tear it up." He said, "You want a grant." He said, basically, you're like congratulations, you won a grant to for this to pay for all this. Like, he's not going to college, motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple, like, he's picked up multiple people. He has, I don't know how many people he has at the place, but it's probably like 30 to 40.
Active,
Yeah.
damn, at all times, year round.
I don't know about year round, but when you look at the location, because if you watch some of his videos, he goes into where he takes them and explains everything. Look at this one. And this one, his mom came to him, brought her son, like I told you. And you could see because her mom's telling her like she's like she can't handle it no more. And you'll see how he handles this one.
¿Qué pasó?
Pues necesito ayuda.
¿Qué le dije yo?
Sí, que
Sin
me,
tanta
sí,
chimichanga,
sí,
madre.
sí,
¿Qué
que me va a
problema tiene
ayudar.
con él?
Pues es que ya de lo que tanto que consume ya alucina, me grita bien feo, me dice hasta que me voy a morir y ya la verdad ya no hay yo qué hacer y yo lo que quiero es ayuda para él, porque la verdad yo no sé qué hacer con él. Y ya estoy
¿De cuándo anda batallando con él?
bien desesperada, tengo como unos 3 años, 3 así ya de plano que ya.
Y
ya
ahorita está ahí en el carro y no sabía que venía por acá.
no sabía, pensaba que lo íbamos a esconder en algún lado por lo que le digo que pasó ahí en
Ajá.
Villas del Campo.
¿Cuántos años
See, she
tiene él?
says that she's been dealing with her son for 3 years, putting up with everything. And she's tired already. He's been yelling at her. She's saying that
he
hallucinates and says she's gonna die and all that. Like, and I can imagine too, like, you would get tired of that.
especially if he's at your house.
Yeah, your house, doing drugs and
Yeah.
not listening to you. And you would think too, like, if he's out of his mind like that, who's to say he won't cause me any harm?
Yeah,
like that?
or anyone else in the family.
Yeah. So I could see where she's coming from.
He said
3 years is a long time.
So the guy thinks that she was gonna take him somewhere to go hide because something must have happened. He must have did something that she said, "Oh, let's go take you somewhere else so you can hide." Maybe from the police. I don't know.
He says,
Llévame con él, por favor.
So take me to him, and you'll see the way he handles this guy.
Pase para allá, niño, por favor.
Balita, vete para allá. Ahí está.
Buenas noches, carnal. Hay dos maneras de hacer las cosas, carnal.
Sí, tal cual.
Una es que tú te bajes por tu voluntad y entres a la casa.
Sí.
Hay madres llorando, hijos muriéndose, personas como tú sometidos por una sustancia, loco.
No, pues yo no...
Que se están muriendo por una sustancia, güey.
No
Tengo
sé
la
eso.
casa llena, carnal, y tu madre vino a pedirle ayuda.
No, pero no sé eso.
Un corazón constricto y humillado, yo no lo puedo despreciar, corazón.
Oiga, no sé
Hay
eso.
dos maneras de hacer las cosas. ¿Mande?
It's gangsta, huh? The way he's telling him. There's two ways.
But why is he calling him corazón though?
I think he just says that because
My
like,
heart. That's the Brooklyn shit.
yeah,
My
but I
heart.
think it's just a way to show love. You know, and sympathy.
That shit don't sound like love.
Because he'll be saying like
That shit sound like domination.
domination.
Yeah,
That's because you're thinking sinister.
that's what it sounds like.
But it don't matter.
He said there's
It
two.
don't matter what it sounds like, it matters what it is.
He said there's two ways of doing this. My heart. You get off, or you get
You get off voluntarily, you
Yeah.
walk off, or we do it the hard way.
Yeah. My heart. You hear me? My heart. Damn. I'm like, this dude not play.
Ok, no se preocupe, espere, déjame hablar con él.
No,
Fíjate
sí.
las cosas que te voy a decir, corazón.
Sí.
En la Biblia, compa, hay una parábola del hijo pródigo, corazón.
Ajá.
Que el hijo pródigo por voluntad regresa a su casa, compa.
Ajá.
Porque él lo dijo y lo dice la escritura.
Pero-
Que los cerdos de su padre comían mejor que él, corazón.
Sí.
Y lo más bonito tuyo, que tú eres como la oveja 100, corazón.
Ajá.
¿Por qué? Porque Dios mandó por ti. Llegaste a la casa de Clínica Jiré. Está la fogateada, está la presencia del Espíritu.
I mean,
de la-
that's like, that's a good, I like the saying, you know, God sent for you. But saying God sent for you and kidnapping you, it would be like crazy. But
Yeah, it did, because it doesn't seem Christian like to be any type of violence or force doesn't seem Christian.
And right here, they're outside of the house. That was a really big, how come I can't say it? Rehabilitation center where he has them in. They're right outside. So that's why he said you walk into the house. It's not like he's far away.
casa, tu madre afuera llorando, pidiendo la ayuda.
Sí, entiendo.
Porque estás sometido por una sustancia. Hay dos cosas de hacer las cosas. Te bajas o te bajo, corazón.
No, sí me voy a bajar.
Bájate, coqueto.
Hágase para allá, por favor.
Vente, corazón. No te voy a dar oportunidad de hacer nada. Necesito que te bajes ya,
Pero,
corazón.
¿por
Si
qué?
no, los plebes se van a meter por ti.
Que se metan.
Ánimo.
Plebes, what does that mean? My boys?
I think so. Say it again. Go back
He
and
said, because when I heard that, I'm like, what does that mean? That sounds to me like my guys, my boys, my homies, something like that.
Dos cosas de hacer las cosas. Te bajas o te bajo, corazón.
No, sí me voy a bajar.
Bájate, coqueto.
Hágase para allá, por favor.
Vente, corazón. No te voy a dar oportunidad de hacer nada. Necesito
Yeah,
que
he's like, I'm gonna get off by my own.
Yeah, he
he's like,
said-
but step away a little bit.
Yeah.
He's gonna run.
Yeah. and
That's
he
why he's
said,
saying, I'm not giving you the chance. I'm not giving you
a
the
chance to
opportunity.
do anything.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you could tell, like, he's like
te
about to get
bajes
real.
ya,
Pero,
corazón.
¿por
Si
qué?
no, los plebes se van a meter por ti.
Plebes.
Yeah, I think that means boys.
Yeah.
Another word for boys.
Oh. So he's telling them the boys will come get you, and you'll see he calls his bluff. Watch. He thinks he's bluffing.
Que se metan.
Ánimo, plebe, vámonos por él.
Ánimo.
Vámonos, corazón, vámonos, corazón. Ánimo, pues. Ya, bájamelo, tranquilo, bájamelo. Vean, mi amor. Te estoy diciendo, corazón, que hay dos maneras.
No, que
Lo único
si
que
yo
vamos a
no
hacer
tengo
es
nada que
alivianarte,
ver.
corazón negativo. Dios mandó por ti.
Mamá.
Vámonos, mi amor. Valió la coche, plebe. Que flote, vámonos. Que flote la hermosura, vámonos, ay. Vámonos, mi amor.
That's fake.
You think this is fake?
It's fake.
No, it's not fake.
Yeah, that's fake.
¿Dónde está, madre?
They paid him. They're paid actors.
Why you say that? Because he said, "Ama."
Because he's crying like that. That sounds like you're being trying to be comedic or something.
Nah, it's not fake.
I think because he's like 26. She said he was 26 years old, and he's saying,
So
it's fake. It's fake.
It's not fake. You can see the before and afters. I don't know about this guy, but you can see the before and afters.
A ver, show me one.
Madre, venga. Vámonos, vámonos, mi amor, que para la coche, ¿cómo va? Pobre. Defiende la enfermedad. Discúlpeme, pero es la única manera de hacer las cosas.
Ya sé,
Discúlpeme.
yo lo sé.
Hablándole bonito no va a agarrar el rollo.
No, ya sé.
She's a good actor.
Nadie lo va a golpear, pero tiene que forzarlos a entrar. Es
So you
necesario.
think all this shit's fake now?
Es necesario, madre.
She a hell of an actor right there.
Vámonos, mi amor.
Look at
6
that.
meses Dios mandó por ti, corazón. Listo, madre. Esto es más sencillo de lo que se imagina. Ánimo. Venga.
Gracias.
Póngaseme bien. Póngaseme bien. Tengo la casa hasta el tronco, bendecida, pero como le voy a decir, se lo voy a trasladar a Dios, proveerá con Neita y Pacheco. Está aquí 5 cuadras, ahorita aquí él va a dormir.
Sí, ya sé dónde.
¿Sale?
Sí.
¿Ellos quiénes son sus hijos?
No, son mis sobrinos. Son mis sobrinos, pero ella me trajo por lo mismo para que me...
Hay que hacer unos
Duro.
¿Eh?
Se puso duro.
Es parte del show. Defiende la enfermedad, madre.
Sí, gracias.
Pero váyase bien. Y agradezcale a Dios la beca que acaba de recibir. Alexis la
Gracias.
autorizó. Es el que venía conmigo, él es el dueño de la clínica. Y nos metimos nosotros porque usted se da cuenta que venimos llegando de Mexicali.
Sí,
Estamos
ya
bien
sé.
ocupados.
Sí,
Pero yo
por
no
eso
estaba a
yo lo
gusto porque
esperé.
usted estaba aquí afuera llorando. ¿Me explico?
Sí, muchas gracias.
Entonces, déjenos trabajar con él.
Sí,
Él ya llegó, váyase tranquila, pero quiero que cuando llegue a su casa usted le dé las gracias a Dios.
sí.
Nosotros no
Gracias
somos
a
nada,
Dios,
todo es
sí,
de él.
See, that's
Vale.
true Christian. That's when he said that, you could tell that's true. When Jesus says, like, somebody who does things in their own interest, he said, those people you praise. He said, but when I do the works of my Father, like you don't believe in me. I don't have nothing to gain from this. I'm doing His will, not my will. Yeah, and that's why he said,
Give all glory to
give
God.
all glory to God. I'm nothing. That's as Christian as you can get right there. No, if when you help somebody and they say thank you, they'll be like, give thanks to God, not me. You know, because all this is done through God.
El que me dirigió hasta acá por lo mismo, porque por eso me esperé tanto. Y hay patrulla que llegaba y me asomaba y me decían, sí va a venir, ahorita tienen que llegar.
Ánimo, madre.
Gracias.
Ya, váyase tranquila, madre, véngase.
Gracias.
Póngase bien. Ahorita tengo que hacer un compromiso yo.
Sí.
Ya le doy gracias a
Sí.
Dios, Dios me la bendiga.
Muchas
Al ratito, pase ahorita, ¿está Chuy? ¿Está Chuy, Canelo? Pase para que tome datos.
Sí.
Para que le tome datos. Ah, no, pues el muchacho le va a dar los datos. No se preocupe, ahorita lo que quiero yo es que vaya usted y se descanse. A los 2, 3 días tráigale 2, 3 truzas, un chorro, una chancla, un jabón. Para las
Allá, a esta parte de acá.
Tráigamelo para acá. Aquí va a estar esta semana. Vamos a ver cómo se comporta.
Sí,
¿Vale?
sí.
Un jaboncito para que se lave las nalgas y un
sí.
desgrasante para que brille la perla.
Sí,
¿Ánimo?
muchas gracias. Muchas gracias,
Ánimo.
mijo.
Dios me la bendiga.
Gracias. A
Póngase
ustedes
bien.
también.
Váyase bien.
Muchas gracias.
Agradezcale a Dios. Dios me la bendiga. Ánimo, plebe. Te lo miro. Parió la coche. Vamos a...
Una chancla. He said, bring a chancla. It's like a pair of shorts, one chancla, and a bar of soap so you can wash his ass.
Yeah.
That means he ain't gonna shower for 3 days. He said, come back in 3 days. So he ain't gonna shower. Damn, they're gonna be doing him dirty for 3 days. Damn.
Nah, I think because if he keeps fighting, they probably have to do it a different way.
Show me the rehabilitation. Show me the transformation.
Let me see if I can find one. So you think it's fake based on what you've seen so far?
I don't know. Part of me thinks that it's like staged. I mean, but that girl, the lady was pretty good. Like her crying is pretty good.
Look at this is the homie that you seen in the beginning. The one that was getting kidnapped and saying, "I just got
Yeah.
kidnapped."
Yeah.
And this is him with his family now.
Gente, es el del Oxxo, el que andaba reciclando, que se perdió de su familia. Aquí está su hermana. ¿Cómo se llama, madre?
Norma,
Norma. ¿Desde cuándo no sabía de la hermosura?
casi 1 año y medio.
Oye, duraste 1 año y medio reciclando sin volver a tu casa, corazón. ¿Cuántos puntos de Infonavit juntaste trabajando concreto?
Ninguno.
¿Eh? Ninguno. ¿Qué siente, madre? ¿Cómo supo usted de él?
Por los videos en él.
Las redes sociales se pueden utilizar para cosas buenas y para cosas malas.
Sí.
Nosotros lo estamos utilizando para dar testimonio de un Dios grande.
Exacto. Así lo miramos y pues cuando me dijeron, le dicen travieso a él.
¿A poco?
Dice, tu hermano el travieso está en el internet y sí, era él. Y miramos el proceso hasta lo que está estamos mirando ahorita. Y
¿Cómo lo nota ahorita la hermosura?
Bien llenito. Lleno de vida.
lleno de vida y bendecido por Dios.
Bendecido por Dios. ¿Desde cuándo no supo usted? Hace 1 año y medio. ¿Pero dónde le perdió el radar a la hermosura? ¿En qué parte se le perdió del mapa?
Él estaba en otro centro.
Sí.
Estaba en otro centro y
¿En el mesón?
No, en el gran yo soy.
En el gran yo soy. Ok.
Muy cerquitas.
¿Y te fugaste de ahí, carnal?
You think he just shaved his hair?
No, he looks like he got more meat on him.
Like he's
Yeah, the other dude was skinny. He had no tummy. Like he's depriving himself
¿Y
of
te voy a
food.
seguir
This guy still says he looks well.
he looks healthier.
He looks healthier and he looks like more maintained, and he looked like he actually showered, but you can tell
sufriendo? Vámonos para la calle. ¿Sí, no?
he said, I don't think
You don't think like he's fully recovered?
no, I think he might be recovered, but like, I think there's like,
Damage by drugs do?
yeah, the damage that the drugs did is still there. Like he's not, I thought he was going to be like well-spoken, like, oh, we were like, what the fuck? That's what I was
No.
thinking. He's still a
Well, he's
little,
not gonna come a professor like.
no, but I just thought like,
he's just healthy now. He's good. He can
just-
communicate. He's good.
he just said 2 words though.
I know this person. There's a different story though. When you talk to the other people who can barely talk or whatever. But
Yeah,
this is the one
like-
I picked this one because you've seen the dude get kidnapped.
Voy a seguir
Yeah,
sufriendo.
you've seen him now.
No pasa nada, dijiste, ¿va? Ok.
See, because he's
Todo
not,
bien.
see how he speaks?
Hay que ser
Like
sincero,
2 word,
¿no?
2 little word answers.
¿El que es tuyo?
Mi cuñado.
Es tu cuñada.
Mi cuñado.
Ok.
Me ha apoyado bien machín.
Nomás que te les pierdes, una bolsita que no tiene ni pies ni manos, pues te trae arrastrando la cobija, corazón. Ok. Pues déjeme decirle, madre, que el tratamiento que está llevando él es totalmente gratuito. De hecho, ahorita me acaban de mandar 1,000 pesos para ti. 1,000 pesos para ti, 1,000 pesos para Rambo y 1,000 pesos para no me acuerdo el otro chavalo. Pero entonces yo te voy a comprar las cosas que necesites. Te voy a llevar ahí al cuidado con el perro y con los plebes para que agarres
Pues,
unos
1,000
frutos, una
pesos.
chamarrita, algo.
Or divided by 20.
Because $100 is 2,000, so $50. That's $50.
Close. Because 100 when I was over there was like 16, 17 or 1,700.
Yeah, but because they took a chunk out though, huh?
Yeah, because you don't get the right conversion rate.
But you just say if it's worth 200, I mean 2,000. Every 100, let's say, is worth 2,000. If 1,000 pesos, 50 buckaroos, or like $45, something like that. $45, people will be hella happy. If you give them $45,
Depending on the people. What do you mean?
that shit would be crazy.
I mean, that's anywhere.
I thought she was gonna break
They don't
down
ha-
crying.
they
right
don't
now.
even have to be.
If she said Instagram. She didn't say in el Instagram. How do you say that in like a Mexican accent?
They say Instagram.
They say Instagram in perfect no accent. And in Insta, they say Insta. ¿Tienes Instagram? That's some shit like
No.
that.
A lot of times they say it the right way.
And
Instagram.
they say it properly without no accent of any kind. That's a lie.
Well, I heard you. You don't think they could learn or what?
Yeah, it's just everything. If you talk to a Spanish speaker, there's always an accent.
I mean, maybe there is an accent, but there's certain things that they keep for some
She had
reason.
no accent.
There's certain people that don't have that because they know how it's originally the real name of it. Like they would say YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. ¿Tienes YouTube? Not it's not YouTube. YouTube. It's YouTube.
You want them to say YouTube.
Yeah, but that's how you can tell whether they're gonna cry for $45 or not. I thought she was about to start crying right there when he said, "I got $1,000 for you." Her face looked like she's about to start crying, but she said Instagram. So I'm like, nah, this is fake. If she starts crying,
Por ahí,
it's for
sacando
fake.
bien hermoso por ahí.
Sí,
Entonces, le reitero, madre, totalmente gratuito. Usted está recibiendo el programa, Dios se lo paga. Y créame que aquí mucha gente batalla.
Sí.
Hay madres llorando, hijos muriéndose por un tratamiento totalmente gratuito como el de la hermosura. Él se está adaptando bien a la casa, él ya es de la casa. Donde lo mire yo haciendo musaraña, lo va a volver a parir la coche con el Lucas 1423. No me vas a llevar a caballo. Entonces, muchas gracias, madre, y hay que darle las gracias a Dios. Nada.
Acaban de hablar con su papá, una videollamada. Fue muy conmovedora porque el viejón aquel se quebró al final. la neta.
Entonces eso es su sangre, su hijo. ¿Ah?
Me dio mucho gusto y pues es lo que hace.
You think it's all fake then?
I don't know. The video's a little too long.
Yeah, it's a long video. But I don't think it's fake. He got multiple videos here. And he goes up to different people. This is another guy. He just seen that a lot of homeless people or drug addicts will sweep. So they'll get a broom and they'll get a dustpan or whatever, and they'll go to businesses and say, I'll sweep your whole business at nighttime. After it's done, I'll sweep it. And then in the morning, I guess they give them some pesos. So the homeless people are known for doing that. So this dude is always sweeping. And he told him, hey, come with me. You can tell he's a little scared. He's like, no te espantes. He's like, don't be scared. He's like, when's the last time you ate? And he's like, yesterday. And he's like, and he was telling his friends, he's like, fíjate, yo estoy lleno de la panza y mi corazón aquí no come desde ayer. He's like, let's get him some food. He hasn't ate since yesterday. He's like, I'm hella full. And look at my guy here, hasn't ate since yesterday. So he's like, what do you want? He's like, you want some tacos? We'll get you some tacos. So he got him a couple of tacos and everything and said, eat it. And he eat, like, I want you to eat good. He gave him dessert and everything. I want you to
He's
eat.
like, damn, this guy's, why is he feeding me so good? Why does he want to fat me up? What's he going to do to me?
And he was telling him, hey, I want to leave like tomorrow because I got to go to work. I owe people money, like stuff like that. And he said, because you came voluntarily, I'm going to let you leave and come back. You know, but I think the people that he takes by force, they have no choice. They have to stay there. And he makes them sign contracts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he does that. Yeah, he's probably going to get sued eventually. They took me.
Nah, but I think overall, yeah, he does. It does look a little wrong at times. But at the end of the day, like if he's helping people get clean, and they're thanking him at the end, I mean, it's a good thing.
How many situations don't end good?
I don't know.
Because they're not posted.
I know, but what would be a situation like that?
I don't know.
Worst case scenario,
be
he gets
100%.
clean and then you let him out and then he gets dirty again. And he starts druising again. And that's happened because they said, oh, this is the second time. But depending on what it is, they'll just adjust. I don't know how long they will do it for before they give up on somebody, but I don't know. But it's tight to give people a chance. Thank you for listening to the AB podcast. You can follow us in the links below. All our social medias are linked there. If you want to buy some merch, the merch that we're usually wearing in the podcast, you can buy it as well. The link will be below.